Welcome to Outdoor Ohio. What you're seeing here behind me is a first. This is a pilot program for the National Wild Turkey Federation and the Division of Wildlife in Union County. The people behind me shooting those guns have never hunted before. Some of them have never shot guns before. This is a pilot program to teach people what hunting is all about and why it's a part of our American heritage. Whenever you do something new, there's anxiety attached to it. And this is hunting. It's all new. And these people get to experience for the very first time, and they're going to do it in front of the Outdoor Ohio cameras.
The Learn to Hunt program is one that is growing steadily throughout areas of the state. The Division of Wildlife has already done a couple of them, and this one is a collaboration between the Division of Wildlife and the Union County chapter of the National Wild Turkey Federation. The reason to learn to hunt as adults? Well, one person wanted to change their diet. Another had friends that hunt. But the biggest reason?
My kids are very interested in hunting. It's not something I grew up with, so this was kind of like a precursor to actually getting them involved.
And they had pretty typical reasons why they had never hunted before, too.
I grew up in the outdoors, but mostly fishing and canoeing. I remember watching my dad go out for a few hunts when I was little, but I never had the opportunity to shoot a gun, so pretty much limited to BB guns and arcade ranges. So.
But here they were, ready to learn to hunt. Of course, we kind of had to start at the beginning and ease the adults into the idea.
I'd like to welcome everybody to, well, this is the inaugural class for the, it's called Wild About Hunting in Union County. It's our Learn to Hunt program. We'll talk about specifics of what the course is, and then I want to hear what you all have to say and what you all hope to get out of this.
In the late 1700s into the early 1800s, Ohio was obviously a vast forest, pre-settlement. A squirrel could jump from tree branch to tree branch across the entire state. There was that many natural resources available in our state at that time. It was an untapped resource. I mean, we had things like bobcat, the wolf, the elk, mountain lions, bison. By 1900, 100 years after settling in Ohio, essentially, all that was gone. Hunting is still alive today because people who hunt and fish and trap invest in it, and they want it to be here. That's why it's so important that we continue to recruit new hunters and new anglers and new sportsmen, new wildlife enthusiasts, even people who view wildlife as a hobby. It's important to keep that on the forefront and keep it important, because if it's not important anymore, then it's going to disappear. If the lights go out tomorrow, you know, no gasoline, no electricity, no Walmart, no Krueger's, I mean, I think about those kinds of things. How long could you make it? How long could you survive? Do you have the basic instincts and the basic skills to provide for yourself and for your family?
This first session was a get-to-know-you session, and we needed to get to know these folks and find out why they had never hunted before.
I mean, I grew up in Cincinnati, concrete, and there's no place to go. And I had an uncle who hunted, took his son, and I was always jealous. But I could never break into hunting because I had never had anybody that would take me, and I had friends, and they all, well, I take this course, and you know, my mom wasn't going to take me.
That's just never been a part of me or my lifestyle, but it's something I'm willing to look into, and maybe I might find something I actually enjoy in it.
If you have somebody who knows what they're doing to show you how to do it, you can pick it up pretty easy. It's not that hard.
What we're here to say is to consider this as an additional opportunity, another tool in your toolbox, another thing that you could potentially pass down, because you know, there are tons and tons of people who may not hunt, who may not fish, but they benefit from those who do hunt and do fish. Those individuals who go to wildlife areas to watch birds. Guess what? They're not buying firearms, they're not buying ammunition, they're not buying licenses, but by God, they are benefiting by what we are doing. And I'm okay with that.
It is Ohio law that if you're going to hunt, you have to have a hunting license. It's also Ohio law that to get a hunting license, you must first have successfully passed a hunter's education course. Hunter's Ed classes are free, with all personnel and materials paid for thanks to money set aside in the Federal Aid in Wildlife Restoration Act from 1937, also known as the Pittman-Robertson Act.
Hunter safety is a huge check the box for the course. You know, everything's kind of geared around hunter safety, hunter education. You know, without that, obviously, you know, it's a good foundation for hunters to be successful.
For this Learn to Hunt program, much of the hunter safety portion was done with a home study regimen, which reduced the classroom time necessary to go over the hunter safety curriculum.
So if I hold this button down here, it allows me to work the action.
After reviewing the most important parts of the hunter's education course and answering some Q&As, it was test time.
Everybody did really good. Asked good questions, and scores are all really good. Everybody's got certified. Now the fun begins to actually get the hands-on and start putting some bullets downrange. So, yeah, I thought everybody did really good.
On our first day at the rifle range, excitement was high. This step would be a milestone in the course, helping students build confidence and muscle memory and giving them real experience firing a rifle.
Welcome to the Richwood Gun Club. I'm very happy that they were gracious enough to allow us to be here. We'll go over the types of firearms we have here. We have not only 22s today, we have bolt action 22, lever action. We have a semi-automatic 22, which the wildlife officers have provided, which is nice. 44 caliber. And then I brought a 45-70 as well. Those pack a lot bigger wallop, but if anybody wants to try them, we brought them.
Before our students could hit the line, we had a little bit of class time to refresh the students on what they'd already learned.
Remind me, what kind of action is this? Bolt action. I've already taken the magazines out. This is one of those where the magazine just pops out the bottom. We loaded the magazines earlier. We can show you how that goes. Here's the safety. Okay, remember red's dead. We always like to have this thing on safe until it's ready to fire. And notice we also have, these are the rifle sights. Again, the difference between shotgun and a rifle. What do you do with a shotgun? Point it. What do you do with a rifle? You aim it. When you're ready to shoot, that's when you flip the safety off. We have the safety on at all times until we're ready to pull the trigger. Keep the finger out of the trigger guard until we are ready. Does everybody remember what the trigger guard is? We keep the finger out of the trigger guard until we're ready. We keep the barrels pointed downfield, or downrange in this case. We never go and retrieve targets until we have everything finished. We have the bolts open. I want the actions cleared before we ever move downrange. Actually, we're gonna bring the firearms back here unloaded and everything before we go downrange to swap targets.
Jonathan talked about ammunition magazines, showed the differences between them, and showed how to load each of them, and then went over protection for eyes and ears. And finally, it was time to sling some lead, and for some of these folks, it would be the first time they ever pulled a trigger.
That's great.
That is fun.
Taught them how to shoot, give them the basics of squeezing the trigger, not jerking the trigger. All of them were shooting within a saucer cup. I don't think any of them said, I didn't have a good time today. But brought them in here. Some of them have commented that they're already going to go out and buy their own equipment when they leave here. So best thing about it is the money that we used here for today comes from the sale of hunting license, fishing license. And the Pittman-Robertson Act, we get money coming back from the federal government from the sale of ammunition and guns. God bless America.
Pheasant noodle soup, pheasant and noodles. This is fried rabbit. This is pheasant fried rice. Got wild turkey. Venison tenderloin. Got a couple different kinds of jerky, some hot sticks, summer sausage, sloppy dough, and got some more summer sausage over here.
This was the class that put the rubber on the road, or rather the field on the table. The reason many of us hunt was laid out for everyone to experience. Any doubt as to the flavorfulness, the recipe potential, the eating of wild game was dismissed in short order when the students got a taste of Brent Nickel's cooking.
So we started out with a few pieces of bacon and an onion diced up and fried that till it was crisp. We followed that up, put in like 3 cups of cooked rice, a little soy sauce on there on the top of that. Shredded up a pheasant and added that in there too. Let that all heat up real well, and pretty much just scrambled about 3 or 4 eggs, put in the center and let that cook up, and mixed it all together. Just made it that easy.
I've never had a lot of this, so I want a little bit of everything. That way I can go home and go, look what I tried. And if there's any leftovers, I'd be more than happy to take them home too.
This was the introduction of field to table, what it takes to turn a game animal into a delicious meal. And it wasn't all about the feast itself, it was also about the reality of how that game becomes food, and that meant field dressing, hands-on.
I'm gonna show you what I do in the field as a rabbit hunter, okay? So I hope I don't turn anybody off, but the first thing I do is pop the head off. And to do that, I don't use scissors. I just simply take the rabbit, grab it by the head, you just twist, see where the meat separates the skin, right there? So that's where you wanna get started. You wanna get your finger underneath that skin, around the muscle, or the meat.
After a video demonstration and a live tutorial, it was time for the students to field dress their own rabbit.
A little nervous, but I think we'll be all right.
It's been about 10, 15 years since I've done it, so see if I remember anything from then. But Josh made it look pretty easy, so.
There you go. That's exactly how you do it.
There you go. Now you want to try to fold it under and go ahead and peel it around to the rump.
Pick him up, hold him over the bucket.
Because it's really not worth a whole lot.
Don't be
Hold him up by tail. Hold him this way.
I would go ahead and
okay, take your fingers and reach in there and start pulling stuff down. Reach in there and grab. There you go.
Field dressing is unlikely to be among the favorite activities for most hunters, but we have to do it, and it does get easier over time. And these folks, they really did a nice job.
I was a little nervous getting into it. I didn't know what to expect, but they did a good job demonstrating, and actually came off a little easier than I thought it would, so pretty smooth sailing. Done a lot of fish in my life, but never mammal, so.
For my first rabbit, I think I did okay. It was pretty easy, actually. We got some good instructors here, and they did a good job of teaching us how to do it, so.
He done very good. For the first time, he done as good a job as I could do.
Today what we're going to cover is shotguns. You know, we're going to cover loading, unloading, carrying, different carrying techniques, how to maneuver through the field basically with a shotgun in hand. You know, how to acquire a sight picture on a target while you're hunting. We're going to try to simulate that with clay birds. By the time you leave today, I want you to be as ready as possible for the hunt next weekend. We're going to let you handle some guns, load them and unload them with, we got some dummy rounds here. So this is going to lock the action back. You guys, let's go over the 4 rules of firearm safety. Treat every gun as if it was loaded. Keep the muzzle pointed in safe direction. Be sure of your target and beyond. Yep. Keep your hand off the trigger. Don't point at something you're not willing to shoot at, right? We're going to cover sectors of fire. I know that's probably a concern for you guys that haven't hunted before. You know, we're going to pair you up with another shooter. We're going to have 2 live guns on the range. We're going to simulate hunting, throw a bird, and you're going to have to recognize those sectors of fire. It might be a bird where both of you can shoot and it's safe. It might only be a bird where one of you can shoot. It might be a bird where nobody has a safe shot.
Josh went on to remind the class how to load the various shotguns on hand, demonstrated several carries, and even briefly refreshed them on how choke tubes work. Then after a few practice rounds, it was time to put their training to the test. The class would be shooting clay birds on an unfairly windy day. Josh and Jonathan demonstrated a round so students could see what to expect. And then it was their turn. Everybody got a chance to hit a couple of clays. They shot at singles, they tried their hand at doubles, and they did pretty well for first-time shooters, especially in the high winds. Now it was time to give sector shooting a try.
Go ahead and load your guns, put them on safe. I want you to walk on safe. I'm gonna surprise you with the bird, okay? You're gonna have to take a good shooting stance, acquire a good sight picture, and start shooting the target. Make sure you understand your sectors of fire. The bird's gonna go straight in front of you, but with the wind, if it shifts, make sure you understand where is a safe shot, where isn't, okay?
Going from shoulder to safe.
You go whatever carry you're comfortable with. Make sure it's on safe and keep your muzzle in a safe direction.
Okay.
And
you're not gonna know when it's gonna go. That's the
nope.
whole point.
I'm gonna surprise you with it. So I just want you to spread out a little bit. Keep going, spread out. Okay, whenever you're ready, just go ahead and start walking. Bird! There you go. Dog's getting birdie. He's on point. Bird! Double! Dog's getting birdie.
Bird is on point. Dog's on point. He's got a bird.
Bird!
Hey!
Got one!
Got it!
All I wanted!
The Learn to Hunt participants had successfully shown that they knew their safety, that they understood the mechanics of shooting, and they had practiced downing birds and hunting in zones. They were ready. Today was the day that a group of non-hunters would transform into hunters at Mad River Sportsman's Club in Bellefontaine. We started off with a session of clays to get reacquainted with the shotguns and the tracking of movement. Shooting some clays down would also instill more confidence, which these excited, nervous, first-time hunting students needed.
Hey! Good job.
Did I nick it?
You got it.
Okay.
We drove to the area they had ready for us, and we made our introductions. Then it was time to learn the hunting plan.
All right, so Diesel is you're 6 or 7? You're 6. Yeah, German short pointer. He's gonna go out. He's gonna find the birds. He's gonna lock down on point and give us plenty of time to walk up, nice and safe, get in position. I usually like to have a gun on my right, a gun on my left, and as I walk in, I'll kind of position like this, and we just all walk together. And if I see something, I may do one of these numbers, you know, and the guy on the left drop back and the guy on the right. You'd always be aware of where the dog is, where the guide's, and if I say no shot, no shot, no shot, I'm talking to you guys. If I say whoa, I'm talking to the dog.
Make sure you see some daylight between the ground and the bird there. We don't want to shoot his dog, so
Right.
it's a family member.
Right. You guys can load if you want to, and we'll start it off.
As I said in the truck, guys, when in doubt, don't pull the trigger. Once you pull it, you can't take it back. Can't say enough about safety.
And we were on our way. They had learned to hunt, and they were hunting. And it didn't start off very well.
No shot, no shot.
The snow we had gotten was heavy and wet, and had flattened much of the taller grasses. And it was a sunny day, so the birds were doing a lot of running. This hen, on the other hand, didn't feel like moving. So Tate declared a snowball fight. She wasn't having it.
Good job, Brody. Boy, dude. Nice shot, Brody.
This is Mad River Sportsman's Club. There's 300 acres of hunting fields. They have a license to hunt. It's a preserve. You have a preserve license that allows them to hunt, I believe, from September through the end of March. You can hunt chuckers, Hungarian partridge, pheasant. You can shoot both male and female pheasant here on the preserve. No bag limits, no numbers limits. Generally, this is members only club, and we found it is such a good program. We want to be involved with it, we support ODNR, and get these guys out here hunting.
Oh, good. Heart's beating. Heart's racing right now. Feels good. Yeah. Yep.
Have you stand back?
That'd be good. That'll allow me to get recovered.
You got a little shake going?
Yeah, that's right.
Safety on?
Safety's on. We're good.
Good job, Beau.
Got my first bird. That was a lot of fun. That was pretty cool.
They learned some realities of hunting, and that it's hunting, not killing. You don't always get the bird. But sometimes you do.
Yeah, Beau. Yeah, Brody.
And that was the last bird of the day. Their hunt was over.
I've been guiding down here for 20-some years with a lot of different people, all different skill levels, and I want to say I never felt uncomfortable. The guys were all very, very safe, very cautious. Understanding the goal of this hunt was to just have some fun, experiences, and get some birds in the game bag. And nobody acted recklessly. They were well taught. Tell the program is teaching these guys the right way.
If it wasn't for this program, I probably would have never tried to hunt a bird. I've looked at turkeys and went, nope, ain't happening. And these guys have been a lot of help. I've learned a lot of patience. That's what I like, a lot of patience.
Mad River's general manager, Tate Stratton, taught the hunters how to field dress and clean their own birds, and told us why he wanted the club to be involved in the program.
Yeah, being involved with the first-time hunters, you know, we have to keep fresh, new hunters coming into the scene. It's a great thing for the state to do, to get involved with this, getting new hunters involved. I think they'll learn so much more, and they won't realize how much they were missing.
The hunters enjoyed a really great lunch and relaxed and shared their stories of the hunt.
Well, it was intimidating to start with, because I've watched people hunt and the confidence they have. I didn't have any. I didn't know, if I was even capable of doing it. And to get to this point today was just awesome. Walk for hours and see these birds fly up, and they're not going to do anything that you want them to do, but to be out there, watch the dog work, have the people talk to me and explain to me what I'm doing wrong, just to help. I'd go out and do it again.
I knew what I was doing. I planned, I thought about the hunt, I thought about the different scenarios. We went through the training of the trap shooting and just understanding and appreciating the gun. And I felt very confident. I felt very excited when I was coming up down the road and it said, you're 2 miles from your destination. I was like, the excitement was really cool. I really enjoyed it, and we had a great lunch. We had, talking about our successes and failures today and how much lead we put in the sky, and it was just it just goes into that camaraderie and that kinship that you develop with your fellow hunters, and I really enjoyed it today.
Oh, I would definitely recommend it. As much fun as I had, and I think if you asked everybody who went through it, I think they'd all tell you, if given the opportunity, if they want us to come back and help out in the future, then we'd all probably do it.
The whole course is awesome because it's dying out, and you've got to get people interested in it, and curiosity is what got me here. I want to know. I'm nosy. Teach me. I'm more than happy to learn, And everybody was awesome on telling me, let me help you with this, let me help you with that. It was great. I hope it keeps going. Get older people in it, younger people in it. It's fantastic.
I did. I had a blast. I learned a lot, and it was a lot more fun than I thought it was ever going to be.
This program basically was designed to reach out to a group of folks who traditionally may not have been provided an opportunity, tradition, or heritage that most kids who grow up in a hunting family experience. So just educating them, providing them that opportunity to get out, have some exposure with some firearms, teach them some basic fundamentals about hunting, responsibilities of being a hunter, ethics of being a hunter, some of the regulations that go along with hunting, and then provide them an opportunity to take game and experience that adrenaline rush is really what it's all about. I think the intangibles of a program like this are greater than we'll probably ever know or imagine. A program like this has a large trickle-down effect because we're influence a relatively small group of people here, and they have kids, they have friends, they have family, and if we can get them comfortable enough to introduce somebody else to the sport of hunting, then we've done our job. And I think the juice is worth the squeeze. And you get to experience firsthand chaperoning a person who's never hunted before, and even at times struggle initially with harvesting game, and to be right at that person's shoulder the first time they harvest game was like a super rewarding experience. I think I was actually more excited than the hunter, the student was, when he actually harvested his first bird. I mean, I was jumping up and down, yelling and screaming. It's really special. I mean, today's a day that I'll remember for the rest of my career. And like I told all these students today, the sky's the limit from here. We've provided the foundation, and now it's up to them to build the rest of the house.
If you're interested in getting involved in something like this, learning how to hunt, gaining contacts, networking a little bit with other conservation organizations, while this is a pilot course, and there are, I think this is only the second Learn to Hunt program that has been provided in the state of Ohio so far. I know this is a priority with the Division of Wildlife. I highly suggest that you get a hold of your local wildlife officer. They would be able to point you in the correct direction. If you so happen to be a resident of Union County or Central Ohio area and you're interested in joining our class, I know we haven't even advertised for the next class, and we already have half a class of people who are interested. Just me going out and the chapter going out and getting various materials for the class that we've had. We've met lots of great people and lots of people who have high interest in getting involved in this. But feel free to contact Josh Shields, who's the Union County Wildlife Officer, or contact me again, Jonathan Sorg.